5 straight days now, Scarlett, we've seen meaningful outperformance of small caps relative to large caps here on what is another record-setting day, at least for the Dow and the S&P 500, 0.6% gain on the S&P. But look at that differential with the Russell 2000, a 3.5% gain. 5th straight day that we've seen the Russell outperform the S&P and outperform the Nasdaq, suggesting that, yes, that rotation, that repositioning into more cyclical sectors, it might actually be real. You see that reflected in consumer durables down at the bottom of your screen on the back of retail sales. You see that reflected in home builders, and you even saw that reflected today, Scarlett, in a lot of the financial stocks, but not every financial stock participated in the rally.
No. A big outlier here today was Schwab. Charles Schwab falling more than 10% on the day. That's the biggest drop since the regional banking crisis in March of 2023. The investing giant warning that it will have to shrink its bank operations in order to protect profits. So big question marks as to what that will look like going forward. We're also keeping an eye on Match Group, which is up 7.5%. This is after Starboard Value built a stake of more than 6.6% in the online dating app and said it plans to push for a sale of the company by March, if Match fails to turn around its operations. Worth mentioning here that Starboard is the third activist investor to take a stake in Match, which has seen the number of paying customers really drop off. Now, that brings us to spending and our top story this hour, which is to don't write off the consumer just yet. Today's retail sales data show that spending unexpectedly held up in June versus economists' projections for a decline. And excluding the impact of a cyber attack on auto dealers, sales actually rose the most in 3 months, which does provide a tailwind into this year's Amazon Prime Day. Sales in the first 7 hours of the event up 12% over last year, but the nuance lies in how people are spending. For instance, Swiss watch sales slumping in a sign that demand for high-end goods remains fairly uneven.